Hello and welcome. My name is Darren, and today we are going to check out some Grayzone Warfare, and we're going to take a look at the various options that we have in the way of upscaling. Very similar to what we did in Starfield. Now, in this game, it would appear that you're kind of forced to use one. So, if we go into the settings, and we'll take a look. So we are at 4K, we are fully maxed out, epic settings, motion blurs off, and so these are our options. At the moment you can see we're running at 100% resolution scale, so we're on TSR, we've got epic level of anti-aliasing, and effectively our choice, there is no choice for off, so it's TSR, FSR, DLSS or Xess. And with TSR our options are obviously we're at 100% resolution scale, so if we can quality upscale or whatever it is we decide to do by lowering the render resolution. So let's take a quick look at the image that we have. This is a hugely demanding game. Unreal Engine 5, obviously 4K epic settings, and this is also a demanding area, so if you haven't already played this game, this is your main spawn, so it's your main base. As you can see, there's a lot of players running around or calling in helicopter rides, so as far as it goes, it's definitely an area where you're going to lose most of your performance. But yeah, obviously at the moment we're going to check out obviously image quality using different upscales, or at least try to, and I'll give you obviously my opinion of how I choose to play it. So here we go, TSR, so we're going to call this native then, because this is obviously the built-in options that we have, and effectively probably the biggest thing that you can pick out with this is you can see some, or certainly I can see quite a lot of flickering up in this tree line. It's nothing bad. I'd have no problem playing with this. Well, I mean, realistically, if you're adamant against using upscalers, well, for one, you've got a problem in this game, because effectively this is definitely not your best choice. So you're going to be using something. Now you can use DLAA, or we do have a FSR, which is a we'll take a look in a minute, but it's obviously an FSR for anti-aliasing, so it stays at 100% resolution scale, and both of those do look better than TSR, I can already tell you that. So as I say, we've got a little bit of shimmering across this tree line. You can kind of see it in those far trees there. In this fence, maybe a bit of flickering and random stuff going on. Those power lines back there, no problem, those look okay. Maybe a little bit of shimmering in these plants. And we've got these textures that we can check out. So we've got, obviously, I'm stood here in this random area because we've got various viewpoints of things. So we've got this kind of concrete texture here. We've got a metallic texture here. We've got some glass to look at with any type of flickering or whatever's going on in these kind of reflections. Some of it I'm pretty sure is intended. We have a random holographic plant. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll ignore that. And yeah, so now, as I said, we have better options than this. There is no point me wasting time going down to an upscale in this, because as far as it goes, as you can see, we're at around about 42 FPS, 43, there we go, and we can go to DLA, we're going to have a better image and it's going to have the same performance, so we'll check that out now. So if we go across to DLSS, we'll turn off frame generation, which is decided to put on automatically, and we will go to DLAA. So we're at 100% resolution. We'll apply that, and we've actually gained maybe a little bit of performance, a couple of FPS, but we've gained obviously a far better image than what we had. So obviously I don't know if this will come up by the time we've gone through YouTube, but we have no flickering now. This is all very stable. There's nothing in the background there, no flickering there at all. The fence isn't doing any type of random stuff. Those power lines are absolutely pristine. Nothing going on with the plants down here. We still have the random holographic plant. This glass, we've got the reflection, and that looks very stable, so I'm going to say whatever is going on this side is probably the reflection of this plant reflecting into the glass, which is fine. We've got obviously nice crisp shadows on these details. The only thing that we've had, or we get in with everything, is this type of flickering on this shadow. But that's evident in everything, the same with this shadow here. So this is definitely a step up in image quality. Very happy with that. We'll quickly move on. We're going to try going to quality. So let's go to quality. Frame generation still off. We're now at 67% render resolution scale. I'm going to take a look at that. Never handy when a helicopter lands, but unfortunately that's what we're dealing with. So we can have a quick look at that fence over there, and that's probably like the TSR was before. So there's a little bit of randomness going on in that. Power lines are very good. Images over there, fine. We've got these textures, we've maybe got a little bit of something going on in the glass. It's hard to say, I'm not sure if that's something that's going on with the reflection here. But we've kept obviously these type of metallic textures on the top. This concrete is still concrete looking. Obviously this flickering remains, as does that. That grass still looks very stable. And we've gained around about 20 FPS, so I can already say that there is nothing here that makes me think I should lose 20 FPS to go back to DLAA. Like, this to me is just a 20 FPS gain. I think you'd have to be seriously nitpicking to think that it's worth losing 20 FPS to go back to DLAA. This is a good I'm happy to play with this. No problem at all. I don't feel like I'm losing any quality. I'm gaining 20 FPS, so happy days. We'll quick check out FSR. I have had a look already. FSR does look very good. So FSR, we can go to, let's go to the native AA, 100% scale, apply the changes, and yeah, no problem there. This looks a lot better than what obviously TSR did. There's hardly any, the only flickering that I've noticed at your native AA. With FSR is a little bit around this palm tree randomly for some reason. You get some sort of, obviously we can't see it now with the helicopter landing, which is handy, but we'll go back there in a second. Maybe a bit around this as well, you get a bit of flickering. But not like TSR was, when basically all of this tree line was a little bit of a shimmering mess. That's all quite stable. So a bit of shimmering around the edges of this. Our textures are clean here. Maybe a little bit of shimmering down the edge of this glass. This fence is just randomly doing whatever this fence wants to do. I'm not sure what's going on there. Those power lines look clean. These plants here all look clean, no problem at all. Obviously we've got shimmering in these shadows, which is just something that is randomly going to happen. Unfortunately, we're not going to get rid of that. So overall, that's good. As far as performance goes, I think it's very similar to what the native in TSR or DLAA was, so no problem there. Let's try with the quality upscale. So we'll go to quality, we should be at 67%. Apply that, have a look at that. That looks pretty good. These trees are definitely a lot more stable than what the 100% resolution at TSR was. So we're doing a better job at quality upscale than what we were with TSR at 100% resolution. We've got a bit more going on, flickering around this palm tree now. Maybe a bit around here. A bit around this palm tree here. This fence is just some sort of random whatever that is going on. Those power lines may be starting to a little bit, but nothing crazy. Trees maybe a little bit around there, but I mean, it's pretty much nitpicking. This has stayed the same. Hard to say what this glass is supposed to be doing. Maybe a little bit more movement down this edge. Nothing crazy. Concrete still looks like concrete. Obviously we still have the shimmering and the shadows effect, but that's nothing crazy. Maybe this grass is starting to look a little bit odd in some way. Maybe not quite as clean as what it was, maybe a little bit blocky. But I mean, other than that, I think FSR has done a pretty good job. I'm not quite sure. Wait for the helicopter to go. I think similar performance to what we were getting with DLSS quality. Maybe about 1 FPS, maybe 2 FPS less. If anything. So I think these are actually both better than what we were getting with TSR at 100% resolution scale. So I think you can safely say with both of these you've got a 20 FPS performance gain, and I'd probably say a better image than what we were getting with the non-upscaled TSR at Epic anti-aliasing. So a win-win, I'd say there. The last thing I'm going to try, because I am on a 4080, so we're using a video card. I'm not going to go through the XCSS. I don't think anyone's going to be asking me for that. If someone asks me for it, it's not a problem. I can come back and I can do something. But I'm going to go back to DLSS because, as far as I've seen, this is the best version I have available. So we're at quality, and we're going to quick flick on frame gen. We're going to see what that gets us. So that's given us a relatively decent bump in performance. and image quality I see no issue with. Certainly no issue around these trees. There's no issue around this palm tree. No issue around that glass. We've kept the textures. That fence is maybe doing a bit of the random whatever that fence is wanting to be do. These power lines look clean. It's grass here, maybe. I don't know. It's quite hard to say, really. Flickering remains in the shadows, like it does with everything, so you know that's no problem. Now it's just a case of, for keyboard, obviously this is a game that I play keyboard and mouse, and if I'm speaking to the Tarkov players, I am a Tarkov player, I'm probably going to say the feeling of this on keyboard and mouse with frame gen gives you that kind of, that same inertia feeling that you get with Tarkov. So it's actually very playable on keyboard and mouse. I have no problem with this. It's not, as you can see, you can probably hear my mouse clicks. So your ADS just has that type of. It's not Call of Duty. It's not. You don't have that competitive, over-the-top snappiness. But this feels surprisingly good for keyboard and mouse. You just have that feeling of having a bit of weight, if you know what I mean. So, a Tarkov player, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is how I play it. Personally, with this hardware, this is how I would play this game at this FPS. When you leave this area, you'll probably get maybe 100. I am obviously screen capturing, so I am losing a bit of performance. So yeah, hopefully that might be of help to someone. It's just a quick run through of the choices that we have in Grayzone Warfare, and I'm going to leave it there. So if this was any help, please like. If it's the type of content you might be interested in, maybe think about giving me a subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.